Alright, good afternoon everyone. Today is Tuesday, the 30th day of December 2025. This is our final session for 2025. Year-end special. I'm going to extend the Christmas special that I had through January 1st. Okay. And I'm also, for anybody that signs up for the trial right now, or anybody that's on the trial right now, I'm going to extend the trial to 5 days. So you can have a 5-day trial if you take the trial now. 5-day trial starting today. And if you're already on the trial, I can just extend it for a couple of days. I know we had a couple of people already on the trial. So there have been some changes, some small changes since the last meeting, because we ended up taking last week off, right? So what I did, you see this right here? This is what it looks like when you put it on by default right now. Alright, this is the repainting. This is non-repainted. This uses endpoint. You can see right up there it says endpoint. And this is fade mode. I created this fade mode thing. And what that means is, if you look at this, after 250 bars, the repainting fades. Okay, it fades out. And then it goes into partial repainting, and then it fades completely out. It's no repainting. Okay, that's why there's a gap in here. Now the signals are very, very close. The thing about repainting is you can't really go back and back test it. You can do that in the endpoint, the non-repainted. You can go back and back test it because the lines don't move around. But with the repainting, the lines do move around. Now the real-time triggers that you get with the repainted version are great, and they're very similar to the endpoint or the non-repainted ones. Okay, now one of the questions that I got was, how do I get rid of this up here? Right, that little box up there. If you want to get rid of that, you just have to go in here under Style and uncheck Tables right there, and that will get rid of that box. Okay, if you don't want that box up there, just uncheck the word table right here under Style. That'll get rid of that box for you if you want it gone. That's just there to let you know that this is actually repainting. When it's the dashed like this, it's repainting. And basically what that means is you can't really go back and back test repainted bars. In real time they're great, and there are real time bars, and everything's exactly what you'd expect it to be. But if you try to back test it, they move around. Okay, so flip it to the endpoint, and the endpoint is on by default right now. You see, if you click on this, you see how it's got that little purple circle right there? If you hover over that, it says there's an update available. If you click on it, it says you can click this to update to the latest version. You can check this box to update it on all charts. You can click this to see what's new, and if you click that, it brings up this thing, and down here it has my release notes, what I did, and the last thing I did 6 days ago. Okay, so I will show you what that looks like. Now we're about to have a trade here. Now I don't know that the trade is going to be okay here. You see how they're both giving us the gray arrow? They're both 19 range NQs. But now I know it'll be okay because the price is outside the band. So I know that we can take a trade there now. If we get the up close, then we will have a trade there, more than likely, on the NQ right now. And that's the trade setup, right? This bar's got to close up, not down. If it closes down, it's not going to be a trade. If it closes up, it will be a trade. Okay? And that's the whole thing. You know ahead of time because you have the gray arrow saying the next up close is likely to be a trade. It's going to be outside the bands because the price is outside the bands. So you know that ahead of time. 729.50. It'd be 5 points above the bottom of the bar is what it'd be at, Wayne. Okay, it'd be 5 points above the bottom of the bar. If it got an up close right now. Alright, I don't think it's going to give us an up close. I think it's going to give us a down close. But if it did give us an up close right now, it would be a trade. It'd be at 728.50 right now. Right, 5 points above the bottom of the bar. Jeff says, do I ever take a look at the larger time frame? You took 2 good trades using the arrows this morning on the MNQ on 100 range. Yeah, it works great on every time frame. Chris, how to get the range of range bars, 4 range to 200 range at the top of the chart. These up here, okay, it did close down. I'll look for the up close right here on the NQ. We're going to go long on an up close. Okay, up close. I'll show you that in just a sec, Chris, okay? There it is right there. There's our up close. So here is our first trade of this session. Right now it's on a 19 range. So on a 19 range I have a 25 tick stop with a 45 tick target. So this yuan was what in the email that we went back and forth on last night, what I showed you. Okay. Chris, click on the down arrow right here, and whatever I put a star on down here is going to show up there. Okay. So if you don't have all these individual ranges that I've created, you can create, as long as you're paying, if you're essential or above with TradingView, you can create whatever ranges you want down here. And like right now I don't have anything below 4 range, but if I click the star right here, it'll put the 2 up there for me. Okay, and if I uncheck it, it'll take the 2 off. That's how you get them up there. Now if you don't have custom ranges and you are essential or better, you just do add custom interval, and in here, and I guess I don't have a I don't know, what don't I have? 13 range. I don't think, do I? So go to 13 and then click range and hit add. And so it added a 13 range right here. And if I want it to show up here, all I have to do is check that little star and it puts it up there. Okay? That's how you do that, Chris. Okay. And did I do a buy just now? I did do a buy. I'm long right here. That's it. You can click on the 7 range at the top of the chart and change it to, if you didn't know, yeah, you can just click on this if you want to just flip around to a different range bar. I don't really want to do that, but like the S is on a 7 range right now, and if I click the 9 range, it'll go to a 9 range, or 15 range to go to 15 or whatever. Okay, but we're on a 19 range on both of these NQs. The reason I have 2 NQs on the 19 range right here is because I wanted you to see that the signals with the endpoint and the signals with the repainted version, they're just about the same in real time. Okay, now this is going to go after 10 ticks in profit on the NQ. The stop is going to go to plus 4 ticks. Now, Elon, that was one of the things that I had suggested to you because you were saying using the 50 range. And I've been using the 19 range most of the year this year. I've been using the 19 range on the NQ. And the way things are right now, we had the FOMC minutes come out here at 2 o'clock, and I really thought that was going to create some volatility and be a catalyst today, but it apparently did not create any volatility or become a catalyst for anything. So, I don't know. What I was saying 2 weeks ago was I expect the ES is going to get up to 7,000 by the end of the year. It may not. We still have tomorrow, the rest of today and tomorrow. But 7,000 is what I was thinking, and I did something this morning. I extended out where I thought it was going to do it, and I thought it was actually going to do it today at 2:55. Today is where I thought it was going to hit the 7,000 mark, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But we'll see. We'll see if it happens today at all. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, what we're looking for, the black arrows that are outside the bands. Okay, the black arrows that are outside the bands, and this is a super simple trade setup. All you're doing, you get a gray arrow that tells you what direction you're going to be going in, and if the gray arrow is outside the band, the black arrow is also going to be outside the band. The black arrows follow the gray arrows. You're never going to have, well, you really shouldn't have a black arrow without a gray arrow. There was one time I saw that happen, and that was a fluke. I don't know how it happened, because mathematically it shouldn't happen. But the gray arrows should precede the black arrows, and when you get the black arrow, you want to enter the trade. Okay, so we just went 10 ticks into profit. It just bumped it to plus 4 ticks. Now my stop was at minus 25. Right, and the place that I have all this stuff, if you go to here, this is targetviewtrades.com. Targetviewtrades.com. If you go here, on the home page, I have it right here. These are my for the different size range bars. I don't do it by market. I do it by, okay, we ended up with 4 ticks on that NQ trade. I don't do it by market. I do it by the range bar size. Okay, so like a 19 range has a 25 tick stop, trails to break even after 10 ticks with a 45 tick target. Okay, that's the way I do it with the 19 range, and that's what you just saw there with that 19 range NQ. Now it says trails to break even after 10 ticks in profit. I have it go to break even plus 4 ticks. after 10 ticks in profit. Okay, and that's a pretty simple thing to do if you're using Sierra charts. If you're using something other than Sierra, then I'm not exactly sure how you would go about that. But if you're using Sierra charts, then that's how you would do it. Okay, and it's a pretty simple process. You just have to click on targets on the DOM, and in here, click offset and ticks triggered. Up here, you do type stop stop. This is the original stop. Goes 10 ticks into profit. It bumps it to +4. Okay, that's how you do it with Sierra. Yeah. That is that. So we got 4 ticks on that first trade. Let's just put that in right now before I forget. Okay, today is 12:30, and right now on the NQ, that was right. Yeah, this is the NQ. Got 4 ticks. Okay. So today we have 1 trade so far and 0 stops. Copy, paste, and these should all be percents, but I think if I hit % on it, it's going to do it. Yeah, it's going to do that. Alright, I have to redo the math on that. That's why it's just digits, I guess. Number. There. Alright, back in here. So we ended up getting 4 ticks profit on that one. We didn't get any other trades in any of the other ones. Alright, questions. Hang on, let me move this over here. Chris, curious on the whole thought process on the 20 range, -119. Oh, okay, the multiple of 4 thing. Markets are slow this week. Wayne said yes. Do I have better success waiting for a deeper pullback, or is the best place to enter at the close of the bar? There's a few things. Was that a buy limit order? Not in that case, John. It was not a buy limit order. And Paul said, okay, in the chart. Yes, in the chart you can click those different things. Okay, so let me answer all those questions. Let me start at the top. John, was that a buy limit order? That was not actually, well, it was a buy limit order, but I just entered, when it closed, I just clicked right on the green and it put me in. So my entry was, I don't remember exactly what my entry was. It was pretty close to exactly the right place. I can tell you what my entry was, so give me a second. My entry was at 27.50. So when it closed right here at 28.50, it pulled back a little bit, and I clicked right in the green. And it was a limit order. When I click like that, it is a limit order for me, but it goes at the best bid is what it goes at. And right at that particular time, the best bid was 27.50. So, Jim, that answers your question too. Do I wait for a pullback? Sometimes, not always, but usually, usually you're going to get some kind of a pullback. In the market, when the bar closes, usually there's going to be some kind of a pullback. Almost all the time, you're going to get a little bit of a pullback. Okay. And the question was, do I have better success waiting for a deeper pullback, or is it best to place the order at the close of the bar? And yours and John's question right before yours were kind of the same thing. And do I have things turned on over here? This doesn't look like I have things turned on. Yeah, I do. Okay, those are turned on. Okay. I wanted to show you guys a change that I made. Okay, we're about to get a trade here. If we get an up close on this bar right now on the gold, we're going to have a long trade. So this one, I can put a buy stop limit order. The low is at 72.5, so I'll buy 73.5. So it's a buy stop limit order right here, John L. Okay, that is a buy stop limit order. I know where the low of the bar is, I know where the high of the bar is going to be, so I can put a buy stop limit 1 tick above where the high of the bar is going to be. The high of the bar is going to be right there. And so we're in the trade right now. It just triggered us in. It gave us everything we want. When this goes to 5 ticks in profit, it's going to bump my stop to +1 tick. Okay. That is what it is. It's got a 15 tick stop right now. And when it goes to 5 ticks in profit, it'll bump my stop to +1 tick. Now, I was killing it on gold earlier today. We might stop out on this one, but I was killing it on gold earlier today. I was up 131 ticks in gold with 1 contract this morning. And we stopped out on this one. Okay, so I'll go here and put that in on gold. We're at -15. And it's 2 and 1. Okay. Let's see, did we have any other trades in here yet? Not yet. Okay, did I break even on NQ call? No, I got +4 ticks on that one, Sid. And Chris M, you were curious on my whole thought about the 19 range as opposed to a 20 range. And if you look at these other things up here, it's a 39 range and a 47 range. What it is a multiple of 4 minus 1. Okay, and the reason I do that, Chris, is it's just easier to do the math in my head. You know, where, like, if I'm going to put a buy stop in the mid order on, like, well, these don't count because they're not multiples of 4. But the ES and the NQ, it's easier to do those as a multiple of 4 because I can say, like, for the 19 range, it's 5 points. So 5 points from the top or bottom of the bar is where my order needs to be. And for the 39 range, it's 10 points from the top or bottom of the bar where my order needs to be. Okay, that's why I do it that way. It's just easier to do the math in my head and get the order placed properly. Okay. Black arrow on gold inside the range. That wasn't inside the range when we took it, though. Okay, it shifted. That's what I was talking about. See, if we flip this right now to the non-repainted, that's where it was when I took the trade. Okay, that's the repainting. You can't go back and check things in hindsight with repainting. In real time, they are what they are. But, you know, that's why if you use the endpoint version, and the endpoint is the default version now, by the way. Now, I like the way that these smooth it out in real time. You know, the dash lines, the repainted smooths it out pretty well. You see this right here? This is not going to be a trade because it's not outside. So it didn't give us a black arrow anyway, but if it would have given us a black arrow, it wouldn't have been outside. Okay. Do I have a limit order ready to get in before the black arrow paints? Sometimes, Jeff, not all the time. See, that one's inside the range right there. Now, if I flip this to repainting, it is still going to be inside the range right now. But if we have a big move in price, then the lines are going to move around. The bands are going to move around, so it might get outside it in hindsight. Okay. That's why I wanted to let you guys know. That's why I made the endpoint version the default version. I like to see this when I'm actually trading. It's a little smoother, but you get pretty much the same result. Okay. How do you set your DOM to place the order when clicking in the green or red? When you click, it places an order at the price you click at. You left click and don't right click. Jim. Left click in the green or the red. If you right click, it's going to put it way up there. If I left click right here, it'll put it right down there where the yellow is. Okay, that is the big difference there. So right here, we didn't have any gray arrows. We don't have any gray arrows anywhere. This was the last gray arrow, and it was not outside the bands, so we didn't have a trade in there. And Jim, there's keystrokes you can do too if you're one of those keystroke kind of guys. Some people like to do keystrokes instead of mouse clicks. You can set all that up with Sierra too. I did set it all up at one point. I think Control A and Control Z were the two keystrokes that I created for placing orders. I don't remember exactly, but well, we stopped out on the gold. That kind of stinks, but gold, we were killing it on gold earlier today. Both right and left click work the same for you. Is it really your first time here, Chris? With this? Wow. Okay. Jim, you know what you can do? If you go out to the Telegram channel, the latest Telegram channel, this one right here. Go to the TV Grades Telegram channel. This is This is my stuff right here. You can go out and download these and open up this chart book, and it should have it set up like mine, I think. Alright, just go to the TV Trades Telegram channel, this one right here. And this was the latest stuff. This is also how you set up Sierra DOMs and get your Sierra connection done with StoneX and all that. I went through all these steps. It takes 6 steps to get it started. Alright, and Chris B. What we were looking for, I just actually missed it while I was showing you that. This was a trade right here. What you're looking for is the black arrows outside the bands. Alright, you want to take trades where the black arrow is outside the band. The gray arrows tell you what direction it's going to go in. The black arrow will tell you what direction to trade. You want it to be outside the bands. Okay, Chris? And it's just the simplest thing. It's called the TVT Swing Bands. Alright, in here. It's right here, the one with the dashes in front of it. TVT Trade Swing Bands. And you're looking to take trades when the black arrow is outside the bands. Now, I know sometimes, like that one that we had a minute ago, over here, wherever it was, this one right here that stopped us out. When you're in a strong trend, sometimes you get a couple of those in a row. I am working on a solution that is going to stop you from getting 2 of those in a row. Alright, now if I was paying attention, I would have taken a long trade right in here, and I don't know if it would have stopped me out, if it would have given me any profit, but what we're looking for right now is the next gray arrow to appear somewhere. You see how I have the NQ with the endpoint band and the repainted band going at the same time. This is one right there on the gold. Okay. Oops. Now, here's the gold. Okay. And hopefully it's going to go band to band. It just gave me 1 tick, but what you anticipate is when you get this is what you want right here, Chris. You want to have the black arrow outside the band like that. You get the gray arrow telling you the black arrow is going to show up. You want to get the black arrow outside the band, and it should go all the way down to the next band. That's what you should see with that. Alright, when it gets to the next band, you may see it turn around and give you a trade going the other way. You may not. Okay. But that's all you're looking for. Okay. Pretty simple stuff. I do, Chris. I love this stuff. It's, they say if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And I really do love what I do. The trading part, the creating part, all of it. And and it helps all you guys too. I'm not just making it better for me, I'm making it better for all of us. And you wouldn't believe the amount of hours I spend figuring things out. Like I brought something up here when I started this out. I had created something based on like 5 different things, and then I created a derivative of that thing, and then I created a derivative of the derivative of that thing. And I had it so it was working really well at 3 o'clock this morning. Let me know when something like this was going to happen ahead of time. Now if we get an up close here on the YM, we'll have a trade. Okay, I know everything is pointing down, but if we get an up close there on the YM, we'll have a trade. See the gray arrow right here is pointing up. And it only took you 10 months. I know. But so we need an up close here. The bottom is at 50, so the high is going to be at, we'll be buying 60. This is a buy stop limit order where that bar should close. All right, the bar should close here at 59. If it doesn't go below 50, it should close here at 59. If it goes below 50, well then we got to change it. But this is the buy stop limit order. John L., you had asked me earlier if I was using a buy stop limit order. I have one on right here, right now. Now let me just see. Put that always on top. Make sure the low is still at 50. The low is still at 50. So as long as it doesn't go below 50, which it just did, then we're still now looking at, where did it go that time? All the way down to 45? Really? Go all the way down there? 48. So looking for the up close on this. Alright. Nothing else has given us a trade yet. So the gray arrow is telling you what direction to go and what direction you're looking for the close to be in. Now it's just gotten a little bit lower. It's now at 47, so this should be at 57. We're going to get a trade over here, I think, on the gold again. There we go. What did I get on that last one? I got 1 tick on the gold, on that other gold trade. I got to put that in. That 1 tick we got on the other gold trade, or 4 ticks, or whatever it was that we got. We're looking for a down close here on the gold now. You see how it's outside the band? So looking for a down close on the gold. It's got a high here. I can't see where it's got a high at. It's got a high right there. I'm going to go short on the gold right in there. Okay. I didn't write down that other gold trade that I had a short on. Okay, here I'm just going to jump on this one right now. There, I just shorted the gold right here. Okay, so we're looking for this to continue moving up. It triggered us in, and we just stopped out. I think we just stopped out on the gold. Yeah, we did just stop out on the gold again. That stinks. Alright, so the YM just triggered us in. And so that is... I'm going to slide this off to the side for right now. Okay. And this is the thing that I was telling you guys about the other day. When you get a stop out like this, if you're in kind of a strong trend and you get a stop out like this, what I was saying the other day is, going in the same direction. If you want to go in the same direction again, you might want to just wait and not go in the same direction again. But if you do want to go in the same direction again, you want to make sure that you have a close that is below the actual blue line and below the band at the same time. Okay, but let me go back out here because I gotta fill this out appropriately. So we had a +1 and a minus 15, so we ended up with minus 29 altogether on that. And this ended up being 4 more, right? With 2 stop outs. No, 2 more with 2 stop outs. And the YM trade is actually, YM trade bumped the stop to break even plus a tick right now. So we're locking 2 ticks now on the YM, and we'll go back to that chart. Okay, so here's the YM trade, and here's the gold trade. We stopped out on that one, and I didn't do that one. And we're in the YM trade right here, and the YM should make it up to here. 691. Okay, all the way up, well, beyond my target, way up there. So we have a little room to breathe. We've only gone a half an hour right now, so we're going to have a lot of trades here, I think, as we get toward the end of the session. That's when we're going to get the majority of the trades. We usually get the majority of the trades. Yes, I would be happy to comment on that, Chris. The question was, when I get a chance, can I talk about how I decided to use range bars versus, say, tick bars? And I would be happy to comment on that. We picked up 5 on that. So let's go back in here, and now we got 5 on the YM. Which one's the YM going? This one. 5. Okay. And that's 5. Alright, so we're still down a little bit here from those 2 gold stop outs. No, it doesn't really concern me all that much, but we'll get it back. This isn't even the active trading period yet. Alright, so let me take a moment and take a drink. Alright, so why range bars as opposed to tick bars or volume bars or minute bars or second bars or any other kind of bar? The reason is you get so much more information out of a range bar. The questions that John had asked a few minutes ago, and I think John and Jeff asked a few minutes ago, or John and Jim asked a few minutes ago. Sorry, John and Jim asked a few minutes ago. The reason they use range bars is because you have so much more information with a range bar. If you know where the bottom is, the top's going to be. If you know the top is, the bottom's going to be. Every bar has to close either at the top or at the bottom to get to the next bar. So there's no time element associated with it, but there's definitely a price element associated with it. And I would rather give up the time element to get the price element, because you can't be proactive with the time element, but you can be proactive with the price element. Like the buy stop limit order that John was asking me about earlier, that I put on here and that I put on one of those gold trades. You can put that buy stop limit order on ahead of time because you know exactly where the bar is going to close. Like this bar right now has a low of 669. So if I was going to buy an up close on this, I'd be buying 79, right? Because I know the bar is going to close at 78. 9 ticks above the bottom is where the bar is going to close. So if I want to buy a stop limit when the bar is going to close up, I'd put it 1 tick beyond where the bar is going to close, and it triggered me in when the bar closes. We're not outside the band here yet, so this isn't going to be outside the band yet on the gold. There, now it will be. Okay, so now we're looking for an up close over there on the gold. Okay, looking for an up close on the gold to give us a trade. See the 2 gray arrows? That's what that's telling you. It's going to have another gray arrow right now, and so we're still looking for an up close. And we're still looking for an up close. What's the bottom of this bar now? The bottom of this is 57.5. So be looking for a buy stop limit at 58.5. Now that's going to be a little lower. It's going to be a lot lower. It's going to be a lot lower. I'm not exactly sure where it's going to be now. Oh, there it is right there. That's where it would be. So you can enter. Could have entered right there. I just entered here, and my stop is now going to go to plus 12. Plus 112. It took me out with 12. Okay, so we got some of it back there on the gold. Alright, but that's exactly what you want to do, right there. Now let me go. I'm sorry, I keep mixing things up with the morning session. So we've got 12 on that. That puts us at minus 17 now. Okay, 6. We're getting there. I'm not worried. We have a lot of time left to trade. Now this should get all the way up to here. Alright, should get all the way up to there. This one not getting all the way up to there. Well, it's changing a little bit. But Chris, did that make sense to you? So I never used the buy, bid, sell, ask buttons. Do we stay or trail a few ticks as the YM travels? If you're still in it, trail it behind the blue line right here, Jessica. Okay, see, this is not outside the band, so you're not going to have a trade there on the gold. Okay, but the YM should make it up here to the outer band. Now, if you look at this leg length, think about that, right? Everything that you know. Think about this leg length. We're at the 50% retracement right now of this leg length, so if it's going to find resistance, it's going to find it right here. So I would trail my stop pretty close right now. Because if it's going to find resistance, it's going to be right here, and then it's going to make another leg down. Now I'm hoping it's going to make it up to the other band. It should make it up to the other band. But right in here, I'd be trailing it pretty close. Okay. So for those of you guys who don't know, what I was just suggesting is the markets are always doing the same thing, right? They're always going up and down like that. And this is the down leg, and this is the up leg, and this is the 50% mark of the up leg, where it should start pushing back down this far. Alright, now given the tools that we're using right here, it's suggesting it's going to go up here and get to the other band, and then will probably give us a trade off the other band back down to this band. That's what the tools are suggesting it will do. But this is the way price action works. And so, yeah. So that's what I was just telling Jessica. I would trail it really close right here at the midpoint. You know, if you're still in that YM, then I would expect it's going to find some resistance. If it's going to find resistance, it's going to find it right here. Okay. Does that make sense? Alright. So, I should say this because I usually forget. I did, if anybody hasn't taken the trial, you want to take the trial, I did a 5-day trial starting today. If you're already on the trial and you want to take the trial, if you're already on the trial, just let me know and I'll extend it for 2 days for you. Okay. But you take the trial, and I did the annual plan. It was a Christmas special. I made it $8.97 through January 1st. It doesn't say it here, but it does say it somewhere. Through January 1st, I have the Christmas special on. If you go here to just, this is tvtrades.com/5 days to get to this one. You do tvtrades.com/5 days to get to this. If you just do tvtrades.com, it's going to bring you, but this is old stuff. It's going to bring you, click on the orange thing, it'll bring you down to the bottom. And I did, there, I see, it says through 1-1. I knew I typed that in there somewhere. This one doesn't have a trial attached to it, though. I don't think. So if you're already subscribed and you want to get the special, use this one. Alright, if you're not already subscribed and you want to sign on for the annual trial, use that one. If you're not already subscribed and you want to take the trial, the 5-day trial, just go here to tvtrades.com/5days. Okay, and either one of those will give you a 5-day trial. So any one of these will give you a 5-day trial. If you're already subscribed and you want to do the annual discount, if you want to switch from a monthly or a weekly to the annual, it's a huge savings. You guys, especially you guys that are doing the weekly right now, because I mean, we have guys that have been doing the weekly for a couple of years, and this is a huge savings to you. It's like $300 a year savings, I think, maybe more. Not that I want you to save money. I like you paying me the extra $300, but I'm just saying it's not all about that. It is a huge savings for you. You got 85 on one contract. Excellent, Jessica. 85 ticks in one contract. That's sweet. That was a nice move. And what did I get on that? Do you remember? On the YM. I wrote it down, didn't I? Did I just get 5 ticks? I just got 5 ticks. I think I was going for 10. And I thought I got 20, didn't I? Did I get 20 on something? I don't know. We'll work it out. Alright, so nothing is giving us any gray hours right here. Right, so we don't have any trades coming up right now. Oh, $85. Okay. Okay. Annual to lifetime. I'll send you an email, Paul, if you want to do a lifetime thing. Okay. This down close right here could be a black arrow. It wasn't. That is unusual. But it could have been a black arrow right there. I'm surprised it didn't turn into one. Oh, my gold. It would have been a black arrow outside the band, too. But Chris B, do you see? This is all we're doing in here. Okay. We're just looking for it to get outside the band. You look for the gray arrow. When you get the gray arrow, it's usually going to be followed by a black arrow. You take the black arrow. Now, the things that I'm working on for you guys, and I was working on it till the wee hours of the morning. One is a way to tell when it's likely to not have any follow through. Like this one right here, for instance. But if it's outside the band, the same indication would happen if it's inside the band as the one's outside the band. But there's that, and also I'm working on letting you know when the last gray arrow is going to trigger, so you know you could go on the gray arrow instead of waiting for the black arrow. Those are the two things that I'm working on to make it better for you, make it better for all of us. Giving away one whole bar kind of bugs me. Now, right here on the gold, a down close on this bar is going to be a short. So you can have your sell stop limit where the bar is going to close, because you know ahead of time where that bar is going to close. Chris M. Alright? The high of the bar is at 62.7, so you sell 61.7. Right? Makes sense. It should have the black arrow on the down. It didn't give the black arrow on the down close. I'm surprised. Okay, so it didn't end up being an actual trade right there. I was expecting a black arrow on the down close. I got it. It seems like it should have given us a black arrow there. I actually put the trade on. I had no wait. He just took me out with one tick. But let me add this right now. If I click that. All right, you see how that one. Do repainting and smoothing. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Alright, well, one of the things that I wanted to show you with the change that I made on the TV Trade swing bands, let me just blow this one up. We don't have any trades here right now. Expand this a little bit, like this. Okay. There's a couple of things. One was the alerts. Your bands are tighter than mine. Can I show the things? That's what I'm going to do right now, Jim. That's what I was just going to talk about. We need an up close here on the NQ. An up close on the NQ will probably give us a black arrow. There it is right there. So that's a long on the NQ. Here it is. Okay. Um, now, once that goes 10 ticks into profit, it's going to bump my stop to plus 4 ticks on the NQ. We have one right here on the ES coming up too, so get ready for that as well. Right now, right there it is on the ES, and the NQ has bumped my stop to plus 4. So the NQ should make it up here to 707 right now. Right, I'm going to go to plus 8 on that. And it should make it up to 707, so it should give me all 45 ticks, really. And the ES is triggered in too. I'm on the ES right now too. This should really start to bounce right here, I think. What time is it? 3:13. Okay, that's 16. 20. Get up there. Here's the ES one, by the way. 28. And we're out with 28 on the NQ. Okay, and here's the ES. I'll slide the ES off to the side for right now. Let's put that in over here. 28 on the NQ. That brings us up to 32 there. And 7 trades. So look, we're almost positive after those 2 gold stop outs. The ES is still going here. The ES goes to break even automatically after 4 ticks in profit. Okay, so once it hits 48, it's going to automatically go to break even. And I'll probably bump it to plus 1 tick. If I bump it to plus 2, will we be positive? No, we'll still be minus 25 bucks. But I'm going to slide this off to the side and we'll get back into the chart itself. Okay. So, Chris B, that's all you're looking for. Black arrow outside the band like that. Black arrow outside the band like that. Black arrow outside the band like this. That's all you're looking for. Okay. What that I just took on the NQ. Well, I want to say I trail it behind the blue line, but I don't actually. You know, in this case right here, Joseph. Hang on, what does that say? Okay, sorry, a message just came in. I'm still in the ES trade, and my stop is not going to break even yet. It's right here. Okay. On the NQ, I was trailing it. I normally trail it 4 ticks at a time, but it was moving 8 ticks at a time, so I was bumping it up to 8 ticks at a time. But when it got up here to the 50% retracement level of this leg down, I trailed it a little close right there. That was what I was looking at, Joseph. I mean, I know I want to see it go band to band, but you guys that have known me for the years, you know, for years like you have, you know how I'm always looking at the markets, I'm always looking at the retracement levels, and I'm always looking at where it should find resistance and when it's probably going to find resistance and how I should trail my stop. And like I just told Jessica to do over here a minute ago, that it should have found resistance right here and to trail your stop close because it's probably going to come down from there. And it did. And this did too. So I don't have a set thing where I say, okay, I'm going to trail it by 4 ticks every 8 ticks, you know, until it gets me out. I don't have a set thing like that. I know a lot of you guys like to have a trailing stop algorithm that you can use like that, and you may come up with something that actually works most of the time. But for me, it's, you know, what the market gives you is what I base it on. The ES, I think, has gone to break even now, by the way. It has gone to break even. Okay, sorry. I forgot to bring that over. I totally forgot that was happening. It doesn't really have any great number here that it's trying to get up to. I'm going to lock in 3 ticks. That puts us at a positive number right now after those 2 stop outs on the gold. So right now it should get up to like right here is where it should find resistance at 49. Okay. Now usually I can see it in the DOM where it's going to find the resistance, but it's not really giving anything away here. 49.50 is a little bit bigger. 49 is a little bit bigger. Lock in 1 point. Am I manually adjusting the bracket settings at times? No. No, my brackets are all preset, Sid. Did you get yours all set up, Sid, by the way? I know you had asked me that on Saturday, and I did that whole thing for you. I'm just going to take 8 ticks on that. That's $1,000, and we're at the outer band. Oh, that's the NQ that's on the other band. Oops. Oops. Alright, well the NQ is about to give us a trade going back in the other direction. If we get another up close right here, that'd be great, and then we get a down close on the next one, that'd be perfect. Okay, but let's go in here, and on the ES right now. ES, which one is ES? Oh, you know what, I put that in the wrong column. This should be in this column, so we're probably positive after all anyway. And the ES is 8. Bang, we are up $1,150. I had the gold in the wrong column. I had the gold in the S column, so I was counting $12.50 a tick instead of $10 a tick. Alright, so we're $1,150 right now. And in this session, we've been averaging so far about $4,300. And, well, you can see how, right? So right now, we're outside the band, so if it gives us a down close right here on the NQ, it's going to give us a black arrow. That'll be outside the band. Okay? Silver has been a little bit of, I know, I have looked at it, Michael. That's one of the things I'm going to do in 2026. I'm going to start looking at silver because now it's volatile. It never used to be volatile, but it is now. So I am going to start looking at that, Michael. All right, I actually started looking at it last night and I was asking Dwayne about it today. It's $25 a tick. It's good stuff. We'll be able to make some money with that, I think. I'll show it to you in just a second. Okay, we'll look at it in just a minute. I'm waiting for the down close here on the NQ. Right, it's got a high here of 550, so it's 19 range, so it'd be down at 050. 5 points below the top of the bar. 5 points below the top of the bar, and that... Chris? Was it you, Chris, that asked me about why I use the 19 range as opposed to 20 range and all that? It's because 5 points from the top of the bar is where I want to have my sell stop limit. Okay. SI, Jeff. SI, and we're on the G contract of silver. So this is my last session of live trading with everybody in 2025. And when I started 2025, I said at the beginning of 2025, I'm going to do things different this year and it's going to be a great year. 2026 is going to be too. You guys will see 2026 is going to be a great year. I am going to make things that are, this is a great tool that we've added at the end of 2025 that I think I'm just going to make even better as we get into 2026. And, I know some of you guys like Rico might still be out there, and he says he likes the sniper the best. Out of all the things I've ever created, he likes the sniper the best. And, that's why I'm not changing it. The tools that are out there are the tools that are out there. And I know we have, there's a bunch of people that are subscribed to TV Trades now. And so I'm not going to change the things that are there. But the things that I'm creating, I'm going to keep trying to make them better for everyone, including myself. Alright, so Wednesday totals. This is where we are right now. 1,157 trades, 2 stops, 71%. Our break even or better. This is how we ended the morning session for 2025. $2,789,850 with 10 contracts. That's gross, of course. $278,985 with 1 contract. We averaged $1,251 per contract per day. It was a good year. I think 2026 is going to be better. Is it the H contract, Paul? I thought we were on the G contract. Okay. Craig, was that you? Alright, we're looking for the down close here right now on the NQ. Now it's got a high here. My sell stop limit was way down at 0.75 earlier, and now it's got a high here of 12, so it's going to be, let me just hit cancel on this. It's going to be at 7.25. Is that what it was supposed to be at? What's the high of this? The high is 12.25, so 5 points below the top of the bar, 7.25. That's what my sell stop limit is. Like this. Okay? And that's what we're waiting for. The ES, it went through. This is where I thought it was going to find resistance, right here where it's at. Alright. So hopefully it's going to go through and hit the other bands and give us an opportunity. We didn't end up with the black arrow on the down close. Man, that surprises me. We did not end up with the black arrow on the down close on the NQ. That is the second time that's happened in this session. Can I show again the Telegram file to copy and a layout? Yeah, sure. You're talking about TradingView, Chris? Okay, TradingView is a little bit different. Let me show you the TradingView one. The Telegram one that I showed you was for Sierra charts. This didn't end up being a trade here. Let me save this right now. And I don't think I shared this out. No, I didn't. Let me save this and go here to webinar. Right, if I go to webinar in here, let me get rid of all this excess stuff here. Now this has got crude oil on it in the NQ. Okay, if you want to put something else on here, you can. But this one right here, I do have shared out. Okay, and do I have anything else on this? I just have swing bands there and swing bands here. Let me make sure. See which swing. These are the old swing bands. Put the new swing bands on. Now, one of the things I want to show you inside the new swing bands. By default, they go on with repainting off, and I added these speed things in here. Right? It used to say, I forget what it used to say. It used to say something else. Multipliers. Yeah, multiplier is what it said before, but I called it band speed because that's more what it is. Now, when you have the repainting off, it uses the endpoint one. This is the number it uses. When you turn the repainting on, it uses the repaint one right here. Right? It shifts the lines just a hair. But by default, this is what it's like. Okay? If you want to have the repainting on, if you want that look, then do that. And it'll be like that. The signals are just about the same. They're off just a hair, but you'll be able to back test it with it off. Okay? So that's what it looks like right here. Now this one right here, Chris, I can share out to you just by giving you this link. I copy this link and I paste it in here. Yeah, Joseph, you can put, well, I can put up to 8. Oh, instruments in the same chart? I can put unlimited, I think. It depends what level you have. Okay, there, Chris, that is the actual layout. So if you just click on that link that I just stuck in there, I'll stick it in the other box too. If you just click on that, it's going to be a read-only copy. It'll have the word copy in the upper right-hand corner. Just click on that word copy, and it'll prompt you to save it with a different name. Okay, now I'm going to jump back out here and see if we have anything else going on here. We have one on the YN that's just about to trigger, one over here on the NQ that's just about to trigger. But yeah, Joseph T, you can have a bunch of different instruments. I'll show you in a second. We have 2 trades that are about to trigger right here, one on the YN and one on the NQ. But if I wanted to put like all the TV trade stuff on here, I can put them all on at once, and I can put another dozen on if I want to. You know, you don't need all that, but you can. Okay, you can put as much on there as you want. Alright, so we need the down close here on the YM, we need the down close here on the NQ. Those should turn into black arrows. They both just gave the down close and they both just turned into black arrows. So here's the YM, and here's the NQ. Okay. Now this will go to break even plus a tick after 5 ticks in profit. This will go to break even plus 4 ticks after 10 ticks in profit. That's the way they are set to work. Okay. And there's plus 4 ticks. Alright, so now this one hasn't gone 5 ticks yet, so it hasn't hit it. It's going to go one more. It's going to go. There we go. We're going to lock in some profit on this. We're in at 14. We're going to go down there to 12 ticks. We're at plus 1 on the YM right now. Plus 12 on the NQ. Okay, so 50% of this should be right about here. 700. So I have 12 ticks locked in there and 1 tick locked in here. So I'm out with 12 on the NQ. And we're still at 1 on the YM. Right now the YM should get down to right about here before it finds support. 671. It's probably going to take me out with 1 tick, but 671 is where it should go down to before it finds support, right about here. Right, the DOM's not really supporting that number right now, but let's see what happens. Okay, there's the NQ and the YM, and we'll add that in here. Okay, we don't really need to see the chart anymore for the YM trade, just need to trail it. So the NQ, we added 12 onto that, right? So it's 44. And we're out with 1 on the YM, so that's 6. And that makes this a 9. Okay. And that's where we are right now. Oops. Let's drag that over to the other monitor. Here we go. Alright. Which brokers do I like to use? Well, I've been using the same broker for almost 20 years, Joseph. If you're talking about futures, I use StoneX, but before StoneX, years ago it was Daniel's Trading. But the same guy's been working there all these years, Burke. And his number is 866-928-3310 if you want to call him. But StoneX is who I use, but I trade on the Sierra DOM. Now Sierra, the way that it works, I showed you that thing. I don't know if you saw me show you that thing a few minutes ago, but inside this channel in Telegram, this is how difficult it is to set that up. First you have to create an account with Sierra. That's $36. Then you have to enable StoneX to connect to Sierra. That's $10 plus 10 cents a side. Then you do all this stuff to get it connected. Then you send this to StoneX. You have them approve it. Then within Sierra you fill out these documents like this. Then you enable the exchange fees right there. That's another $39. That's actually $41. They went up to $41. So right now we're up to 36 plus 41. That's 76 plus 10. That's 86 plus 10 cents a side. So $86 plus 10 cents a side is what you're at. You got to activate Service Pack 10. You got to do all this stuff just to get connected. And then once you get connected, then you create the DOM. Well, you can. This is how you do the data trade services, and this is how you actually connect to it. This right here is what you were talking about earlier, Chris. It's right in here, but you don't need it anymore. That's what I use. It's complicated and it's expensive compared to some free stuff that's out there, I'm sure. But it's better than anything that I've used. I mean, even better than the DT Pro that I used for years. Yeah, it's not easy. And when they, in January 31st of this year of 2025, they discontinued DT Pro. And all the people that had been using that with me over all these years, I had worked for like 3 or 4 months. They told me before they told everybody else that they were going to discontinue it, so I was able to go out and look at all the other brokerages and all the other charting, all the other DOMs and stuff to see which one would be best. And I opened accounts everywhere to be able to test their stuff out. And the Sierra DOM is the best DOM. I think the best DOM there is out there. It gives you more options to do everything that you can possibly think of doing. And I wanted it to look like, the DT Pro DOM. This is what the DT Pro DOM looked like, and this is what we were able to create the Sierra DOM to look like. So this is what it looked like before, and this is what it looks like now. And I was able, this one used to have all these buttons up here at the top. I was able to create all the things. You can just do a right mouse click and have all the same things as those buttons do. I can do with a right mouse click right now. So it took a while to get to it, and I know it's complicated, and I had to do a whole bunch of things. I don't know about all that. I know the commissions. Joseph asked no fee deposits for micros, minis, and all that. You gotta have money in the account to be able to trade all that stuff. But I know the margins for StoneX and the commissions for StoneX are a lot less than what they were for DT Pro prior to that. Okay. Alright, great, Chris. Well, that's why I just put all that stuff out in that Telegram channel. So you have step-by-step stuff, and if you need help with that, then I can help you to some degree. But there's a bunch of steps that you have to do before I get involved. And then it depends who you're using for a broker. I mean, there are other DOMs out there that are really good. Like Trade08's got a good DOM, and Trade08's bought by NinjaTrader. NinjaTrader's got a good DOM if you want to trade with Ninja. I only have these indicators on TradingView. Okay, and AMP's got a great DOM. You can use the AMP DOM, and I believe AMP. No, AMP's got. There's no reason you can't use AMP. Just stay right where you are, Joseph. You just got to have TradingView charts. That's all. And the charts themselves, I mean, you can get these charts for $22 a month, including the data. You get the, you don't get this version, but you get the other version that I showed. Whichever one it was. You get the 2-chart version. This one. You can get this for $22 a month, including live data. Well, the indicators you gotta sign up for. That's $25 a week or $90 a month, or right now $8.97 a year, whichever you want. Okay, but you gotta sign up for the indicators too. Did you just get into the webinar? I feel like I went over this already, but let me just show you. Okay, I'm doing a special today. Right now, you can have a free 5-day trial if you go here to tv-trades.com, 5 days. All right, you'll get an email about this later, but here's the link to it. Okay, I'll put it over here too. Here's the link to it, and so this is where you sign up for the trial. It's got a 5-day trial right now. Normally the trial is 3 days, but I'm doing, because we have the holiday and all that stuff right now, I'll do a 5-day trial. So you can sign up here. Go to tvtrades.com, tv-trades.com/5 days. And you can sign up for the weekly trial, the monthly trial, or the annual trial. The annual trial is normally $9.97 a year. But that is a huge discount. And that's how you do all that. Okay. And just, you said you sent me a Pine automatic drag drop so I can try it out and see if it works. Okay. You emailed it to me? Yeah, Michael. The swing trade bands on Ninja. Now, I'm going to say something here that I know is probably going to spark a lot of other questions. But the fully automated stuff that I've shown you the results of and stuff like that, I have a really hard time getting together from TradingView. If I get to the point where I'm satisfied that the swing bands would be the thing that I could do fully automated, I might just do the swing bands on NinjaTrader, because then if you have a NinjaTrader account, you can fully automate from the NinjaTrader swing bands on that account to your NinjaTrader account. So Michael W, who just said we should put the swing bands on NinjaTrader, that might happen at some point. Okay, you sent it to me in Telegram, Jessica. Okay, good. I will look in a little while. Alright, so what time is it? 3:36. Alright, so we're positive on the session right now, right? We're up $1,800 right now. And we've been averaging $4,300. I mean, the real trading usually starts in about 10 minutes. That's when it usually gets more activity toward the end of the day. The ES is really disappointing me. Now, the options that I suggested on the ES, they're really good. The swing bands are really, really good. Of all the things that I've created, I think the swing bands are probably the easiest thing for you guys to use, because you get the notification ahead of time. And I didn't show you this. The alerts for the swing bands, there's different ways to set it up. I know I sent out an email the other day about how to do it, but I'll add it into this one too, so it'll be in the recording for this later. If you go to the TVT swing, you click on the 3 dots, you can do this, add alert to TVT swing. And in here, if you do any alert function call, it's going to just trigger alert anytime you get an arrow. It's going to do it. It's going to do an alert. All right. You can do just the buy alerts if you want. If you do the swing buy alert, that's going to be the buy arrows that point, the black arrows that point up. You'll get an alert, one of those goes off. If you do the buy notice, it'll be the gray arrows that point up. If you do the sell alert, it'll be the black arrows that point down. If you do the sell notice, it'll be the gray arrows that point down. If you choose one of those, you got to do only once per bar close, because we're using range bars. Alright, do once per bar close. And that'll let you know when the bar closes and you have an alert. If you do it on the gray arrows, it's going to let you know ahead of time that you have the alert coming. Now, go in here to the message. I have this as a default message in here. You can put the alert name in here. You can do what symbol it is if you want up here. And where this goes, it goes right over here. So, like right now, if I put, what do we on the ES? I can do ES, ESH, and 7 range, 7R. It's going to do TVT swing by at the open. Okay, so I'm going to hit create on this. Well, first I want to do notifications. Under notifications, you can have it notify you on your, if you have the app on your phone, it'll buzz you on your phone. If you have the app on your phone, you can do that. You can do show toast notification. That's the thing that pops up over here on the side. You can have it send you an email. Do a webhook. The webhook is what I use to send the signals to the Telegram channels. Okay, the webhook is, that's how you send it to other applications, and that's how I send it to the Telegram channel. So when I do that, you can have it play a sound if you want to. However you want to send yourself that notification, you can. Alright, and here's the message that you do, and then you just hit create, and it's going to create it right up here. Okay, there it is. ESH 7 range, and it's active. And so what it's going to do right now is whenever I get a black arrow that points up, it's going to give me an alert. Now I don't remember exactly how I said to do the alert. I said notify the app. Okay, so I can change it right here too. I can do notify toast application, so it'll pop up over here on the side when we get a black arrow pointing up, and that's on the ES, so I don't know if we're going to get another black arrow pointing up. But if I do the same alert here on the NQ, I'll do add alert on this, and let's do the gray arrow, because we'll probably get some of those. Let's do the gray arrow. Buy notice. Okay, once per bar close, and notification, we'll have it pop up on the side. The message, just say NQH gray up. And create. Okay, so the next gray arrow we have pointing up is going to trigger an alert for us. And that's all you have to do. Okay. We didn't get any more trades in here yet, but Michael, the whole thing with this, you can trade wherever you want. If you have a Ninja account, trade on your Ninja account. We have a bunch of guys that have Ninja, and they use the charts from here, and they just trade on Ninja, and that's fine. Tradeovate is linked down here, and one of the brokers that you can trade on is Tradeovate down here, and NinjaTrader owns Tradeovate. I need it down here somewhere, but there we are, right there. NinjaTrader owns Tradeovate, so Christian cross-trade IO. Somebody's told me about that. You can send webhooks and send trades to NinjaTrader 8. You can probably send them to other places too. So this gives a gray arrow pointing down. Now if you get a down close on this, it's probably going to be a black arrow short. Alright, now I didn't set up an alert for that. But if you get a down close on this one on the ES right now, it'll give us a black arrow pointing down, more than likely. Okay, and over here on the gold, we're just at the band right there. So if you get an up close on the gold, it'll give us a black arrow pointing up. So we'll have a long trade on gold and a short trade over there on the ES. It looks like it's possible. Nope, we got a down close, so we got another gray arrow there. So we could still have it over here on the gold. We could still have it here on the ES too. We still need a down close there on the ES. Now, Christian, yeah, there's some other ones out there. Cross trade down. Let me just write that down. Okay. Because it's not just NinjaTrader, right? I mean, you can, with cross-trade IO, you can have it execute on other platforms too. It's not just NinjaTrader, right? Oh, he left. Alright, so Michael, your problem is pulling the trigger, you say? Well, is pulling the trigger and pulling the trigger at the right time. Those are two different things. Alright. So we're looking for the up close still over here on the gold, and we're looking for the down close here on the ES. And we're looking for an up arrow over here on the NQ, I think is what we're looking for on the NQ. So the gold, we're still looking for that up close. We don't have it. The low on this is now 3.7, so we'll be buying 4.7. Now it's going down even further. Okay, this is a pretty steep trend right here. There it is. There it is. So you might want to wait for a little bit of a pullback on that. The ES right now. The ES right now. This gem, when it's in a steep trend like that, is when I think you might want to wait for a little bit of a pullback on it. The ES right now needs a down close. Okay, so I waited for a little bit of a pullback on the gold. And the ES needs a down close. That's not in a steep trend. Okay, so the gold, we've only had 2 trades on gold so far, and they both stopped out. Actually, we had one that was +1 tick, I think. So, that's just... Alright, the ES just triggered. So the ES we anticipate is going to get down to here. The gold we anticipate is going to get up to here. Now the gold will go to break even +1 tick after 5 ticks in profit. We're anticipating it's going to get up to 68.9. Okay, my target, my stop is at 62.5, but my target is up at 67.5. So we'll see what happens with that. Here's the ES. Okay, and it looks like it's going to stop us out. It didn't yet. There it did. 3 stop-outs on gold. After I killed it in gold today, I got 3 stop-outs now. That stinks. Okay, well the ES is hopefully going to get down to the outer band here, the other band. And the stop is going to go to break even after it gets 4 ticks in profit. So when the yellow hits right there, the stop will go to break even. Okay, and I gotta go fix my thing. Alright, and now the gold's going up after stopping me out. Make sure this window is on top. There. Okay, let's go over here. Wednesday totals. And that stop out kind of hurt on the gold. That is, now we're minus 32. Put us barely positive. Alright. Well, we still have time. What time is it? 3:45. Oh, we got 15 minutes. We got another 10 trades in 15 minutes. Right, we're still in the CS one right now, anyway. That's funny that you asked that, Joseph, about Heikin-Ashi or Renko. It's funny for 2 reasons. One, because there's a guy in Dublin who I worked with in creating all these outer band things, and he uses it on a Renko. I just can't get my head around that. That's one reason I think it's kind of funny that you mentioned it. And the other reason was because out on the Target View Trades webpage, there was one page, the page of the... we ended up with a break even on that. Okay, so let's go here. We ended up with 2 more trades, and that gives us 11, and we had 1 more stop up. Okay. We ended up with a break even on that one. The thing that I was going to show you is on this one, Target View Trades. If you go to the past webinars, this page was really bogged down when I go to work on it. I mean, it looks fine right now when you load it. It loads up fine and everything like that. But when I work on it, it's got all the webinars that I've done in here. And in the beginning, I did the webinars in big... yeah, the whole video showed up. But there were these 2 webinars that I saved from way back in the beginning. These right here. If you go to past webinars and you do Heikin-Ashi versus range bars and Renko versus range bars, you can watch these couple of webinars that I did back here. It's all the way down at the bottom on this past webinars at targetviewtrades.com. Okay. In today's webinar, when it's done, will be in 2 places on this site. It'll be here. In past webinars, it'll be listed right here. And it'll be on the home page right here. This has got my playlist from YouTube. So it'll be on YouTube, and this shows the YouTube playlist. So this was the last thing on the YouTube playlist right here. My Christmas caveman. So while I was telling you all that, I missed this gold trade. We ended up getting break even on the ES trade, and nothing else has triggered in here since then. Okay, we're about to have another gold trade right here. So, did it give us a black arrow? It did give us a black arrow. Okay. And we did have one gold trade that was a good, successful gold trade, right? We did. Yeah, it gave us like 12 ticks or something like that on one trade. Alright. Well, this one is starting to go, and it just went to break even. We're going to lock in something there. I think that was 7 ticks. Alright, that was just a random number that I chose. I was going to go for 10, but I'm going to go in here. Wednesday totals. This at minus 25. And this at 12. Okay, so we're right at 1,000 bucks right now. We did that one already. We took a little profit on that. We missed that one. We missed that one. Alright, that was my answer to that question, Joseph. I don't. How do I hover and get that box? Which box, David? The data box? Oh, okay. I just left mouse click on the last bar. Left mouse click on the last bar, and it gives me that. Okay, now there's a couple different ways you can look at that, David, if you want to. I also have it up here on the top, and you can click on this right here and do data window and have it right here as well. Okay, if I click on that, it's going to be the open, high, low, close, or whatever I hover over. So you can have it over here, you can have it up here at the top if you want. And to get it up here at the top, you click on this, go to status line, and it is chart values right there. Okay. This one right here, we need another down close on this bar on the YM. If we get an up close right now and it gives a black arrow, it'll be inside the band, it won't be outside the band. Okay. How do I create a channel in Telegram to send alerts to? How do I create it to send an alert to? Well, I mean, you gotta go through Telegram to figure out how to create one. Sending the alerts, I use a thing called TradingView to Anywhere, and I write the code in TradingView to send an alert to TTV, and then that sends the alert to Telegram. So, you know, for those of you guys who don't know, part of the whole thing when you sign up is you get access not only to this channel, but you get access to all these other channels, like the swing trade channel, this channel, that channel. There's a couple other ones too, I think. You get access to all those different channels in there, and the trades just get shoved out there. Using these indicators on option trading, do I suggest debit, credit spread, or just regular call and put? I am never going to suggest a spread. You know, you can complicate options as much as you want so that you end up with no risk on them. You know, theoretically. But the only way that I would ever suggest you trade options is to just accept the risk that you put on by buying long. Right? Now I know there are a ton of other ways you can do it, all different kinds of spreads. But I'm not going to suggest anything to you in that. You're going to have to do your own due diligence on that one, because you know, you can put yourself in positions with unlimited risk, and I never want to put you in that position. And it's easy to put yourself in a position with unlimited risk. You start selling options. And Jessica, you don't need to worry about that. All those things you sent to me yesterday, they are not going to let you get yourself into that position. Right, Wayne, I hope you have a happy new year as well. I hope all of you do. And you know, I know it's been 2025 has been a great year, and I think 2026 is going to be too. There's going to be I know in 2026 I expect 2 to 3 people in my family to pass away, probably. So there's going to be that. We're building a house, so there's going to be that. But as far as trading goes, I think we're starting off 2026 in a better place than we started off 2025. And I know, 2025 was a great year for me. And I hope I can just pass all that on to you guys too. In 2026. I know there's going to be complications in 2026. I know there's a bunch of things out of my control. I have it's all in God's hands. And I know we're probably going to lose at least one pet. Probably gain one pet through attrition. But it's when you have as many as I do. Yeah. But that's right, Jessica. You never know. You never know. But so right now we're up $1,000, which is not where I want to be. 75% of our trades have been break-even better. We had 3 stop-outs on gold. 3 stop-outs on gold. That stinks. It couldn't be a stop-out on like the NQ. Well, actually, the stop-out's on the NQ. Stop-out on the YN is the cheapest stop-out. The ES, I don't know which one's the most expensive, but either way. We may get a trade coming up here, or here. We don't have any gray arrows right now, so we just have to wait. You have Happy New Year too, Sid. Alright, Keith. We'll be here. And Jim, I hope you have a great holiday as well. And I almost don't want to risk anything. We only have a few minutes left in here, and I almost don't want to risk anything, so I'm guaranteed to end this session positive. In the morning session, I needed to hit $350 per contract in the first 5 minutes today to get where I wanted to be. And I missed it. I missed it by $140 a contract. I had to put 210 in 2 minutes. But it was pretty close. I was trying to beat my hourly rate when I did the 24/20 blueprint, and I was up $7,500 an hour. I was trying to beat that. I got up to $74.80 or something like that. It was close. I was up above it until yesterday. Well, actually last Monday put me below it. I was above it until last Monday. And last Monday put me below, and then I almost got back until yesterday, and then yesterday put me further below. Anyway. It's fun with numbers for me. I'm a geek. Alright, so I'm looking for trades here. We don't have any gray arrows. I was hoping we're going to get one here on the gold. I was hoping to get one more good trade on the gold, but so far I think we're 3 out of 6 positive trades on the gold, but 3 of them are full stop outs. So we'll take what we can get out of this. I gotta write down all the stuff we talked about. What did the NQ look like this morning? What did I do on the NQ this morning? Nothing. I was up 4 ticks this morning, so it mustn't look very good this morning either, Ricky. If we stop out like the ES and it pulls back to the actual open, then starts to move down, do you ignore the move and try it again? You can, but what I said earlier in a video that I sent out last week, I think, if you're gonna re-enter, if you get a second black arrow in the same direction, it's usually because you're in a strong trend. I like to see it give the actual hook below both the outer band and the blue in there. If you're gonna do that, something like this right here. If you're going to re-enter on something that's already failed once. The reason my stop-outs were a loss of break, even on the gold, my stop-outs were minus 15 ticks, each one of them. That's it. All my gold stop-outs I'm at minus 25 overall on gold in this session. Plus 8 on the ES, plus 6 on the YM, plus 44 on the NQ. My 3 stop outs were on gold. My negative value trades are on gold. So I think I had 3 other trades, so I would be minus 45 on gold, but I think I had 3 other trades that worked out to be plus 20. We're just not getting any gray arrows here, guys. I don't know that we're going to get another trade. I don't know that it's going to happen. And Paul M, I'll send you a link if you want about the whole lifetime thing. I don't really like doing a lifetime thing, but I can do a lifetime with TradingView because I can just, you know, whenever everybody signs on with TradingView, I sign you on as non-expiring. So, you know, if I die, you actually get non-expiring. As long as you have a TradingView account, then you have access. Alright, Ricky, on the TV trades this morning. Okay, let's go look really quick. Okay, let's just do it right now. We're going to look at the NQ on a 19 range. Not this one though, let's look at the other one that you can actually. So you can't, when you have the repainted version, that one right there, you can't go back and do a hindsight look like that. You can't look back like that. Yeah, we're about to have a trade here on the ES and maybe on gold. I'm surprised that the ES is going to give us something this close to the end of the session. But it looks like it's trying to. Anyway, you got to do it with this version right here, the endpoint version, Ricky. Okay, you got to do it with the endpoint version. And okay, hang on. I'll show it to you in just a second. Okay, I thought we were going to get the black arrow on the gold, so I had a buy stop limit order waiting. And I'm in the gold. I'm going to lock in 5 ticks on that. 10 ticks on that. Alright, I thought we were going to have the black arrow on that up close right there. So, alright, we didn't end up with a trade on the ES. So let's look at the NQ really quick. Okay, let me put that gold in here too. I know that wasn't a valid trade. I won't put it in. It wasn't a valid trade. The NQ earlier today. So I can crunch this up and you can go back and look at it like this. So from the beginning this morning, you had a short there that was good, a short there that was good, a long here that eventually would have stopped you out right over here. A long here that would have been okay, a long here that would have been great. A short there that would have been a break even, a short here that would have been a break even. A long there might have been a break even, it might have stopped out. A long there, break even. A short here would have been good, a long there might have been break even depending on your fill. A long here would have been good, a short here would have been break even, a short here. Now it's got to go 10 ticks into profit. And those are all 10 tick trades right there. So that would have been a break even, that one would have been a good trade, that would have been a good trade, that would have been a stop out, that would have been a good trade, 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 that would have been a break even, I think, all through that. This would have been a good trade. This would have been a break even. This would have been a break even. This would have been a break even. This would have been a good trade. That would have been a good trade. That would have been a good trade. And here. That's what the day was for the NQ. Okay. Ricky asked me to show him what the NQ looks like today. And that was it. And alright. So did I answer everything? Why'd you have to reset the chart 7 times? That doesn't make sense. What do you have going on there, Michael? You shouldn't have had to do that. If you double left click over here, then it should auto center for you. I don't know what else you got running on it. That's what I don't get. He said he had to reset his TradingView charts this morning. Alright, well, it's 4:02, guys. I'm going to wrap it up like this. Okay, we're going to wrap it up here. I did get 10 more ticks on the gold, but it wasn't even a valid trade, so I won't count those. I guess we missed that right there, and we got to break even on that, I thought. I don't know. Alright, so if you haven't taken a free trial and you want to take a 5-day trial right now, go here to tvtrades.com/5days and you can take a free trial in here. There is a discount right now if you sign up for the annual. If you're already subscribed and you sign up for the annual, you can go here to just tvtrades.com/trial/pound trial, or just go to tvtrades.com and hit the annual right there, and I will prorate a refund of whatever subscription you have going on. Okay, this webinar is going to be put here at targetviewtrades.com. It'll be put in YouTube first, and at targetviewtrades.com, this is my YouTube feed. Alright, so you'll be able to see it right here at the home page of targetviewtrades.com, and past webinars you can go here to see. Alright, so it'll also be here. But right here, targetviewtrades.com. Right, and on this one you'll be able to sign up for next week's. Next week's will be, I think it's going to be on the 7th. I think it's going to be next Wednesday. Right, next Wednesday is the 7th, so it'll be on the 7th. You'll be able to sign up for that here, and it'll be in emails and all that stuff too that'll be sent to you. Alright? Yeah, I know, Scott. It's a hassle because, you know, to be a vendor with NinjaTrader, to be a third-party vendor with NinjaTrader, they have to do a background check, and they do all kinds of things to make you jump through a whole bunch of hoops, and then they can just pull the rug out from under you anytime they want. So what I want to do, what I actually looked into doing, for those of you guys who want me to go to NinjaTrader, what I was actually looking into doing was creating code that's individual for each of you guys that are on NinjaTrader. So you don't have to worry about your machine ID and all that kind of garbage that we have to do with NinjaTrader all the time. You know, I'd be able to create one piece of code that would be good for you, just you, and you wouldn't be able to give it to anybody else. You'd only be able to run it on one computer at a time, and that's what I would want to do. Okay, but I don't know how to do it. so if I went to NinjaTrader, that's what I'd want to do, so I don't have to deal with the NinjaTrader backend and the machine IDs and everything else. So every time you guys get a computer change, you're going to call me and say, hey, I got a new machine ID, and then I got to stop doing what I'm doing to get your machine ID changed. That's just a pain in the neck. Anyway, that is it, guys. With that, we are going to wrap it up here for 2025. I want to thank you all who have been with me all year. And those of you guys who are signing up right now, any of you guys who are thinking about signing up, 2026 is going to be a great year. All right. Craig, yeah, I saw you just signed up, Craig. Sessions with me early in 2026 to get solid strong. Yes. You have a good year too. And nope, the other rooms, I'm all done now. For the end of the till Monday, I am all done, Craig. I'm not going to be doing any more rooms until Monday now. Alright, so I'm actually off after this meeting. Alright, and I will get your stuff out to you. I mean, yeah, I saw you signed up, so I'll get your stuff out to you as soon as I can here. Alright, thank you everyone. Thank you all for coming. And David, thank you. All you guys, thanks for coming. Thanks for being part of TV Trades this year. It's been good, and I'm just going to keep making it better. You know, it's an obsession, really. I'm not even sure it's healthy, but but it works for everybody. All right, thanks everybody. We'll see you all, well, next year.